This is G-Shock Rush Hour on Fox Sports Net.
Historic Charleston gets upside down with 100% wakeboarding.
Meet Aussie bad girl, Joe Robertson.
Want to see some girls get some big air? Women's wakeboarding coming up next. Welcome to Charleston, South Carolina. We're your hosts. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Sonia.
We're at the second Overton's Wakeboard Team Challenge.
Since this is a team challenge, it's run differently than a normal wakeboard event, so we'll go down to Simon Hill Lakeside to explain.
Thanks, girls. Well, rather than the regular WOW event with the 4 different disciplines, this event is wholly and solely wakeboarding. Now, what we've got is 5 teams with 3 riders in each team, and it's going to run in 3 separate heats. Now, the aim of the game here is to pick the right rider to ride in the correct heat, and if you can win your heat, you get 6 points for a win, plus bonus points if you can get enough inverts in there. Now, instead of me trying to explain it to you, let's go and take a look at some highlights from Orlando. Well, as you can see, there's plenty of high-flying action on these boards, and each year the girls are going bigger and more rad. The format's fairly simple. It's what we call free ride, where each rider gets 1 pass in each direction to throw as many moves as they can. Then we swing it around and take the second pass in the opposite direction, and you're allowed 2 falls, in which case the Malibu will come round and pick you up so you can continue to rip. If you make it all the way to the end of your second pass, you get a shot at the double up, which is a double-sized wake for super-sized air. This is where you see the biggest moves and the biggest wipeouts. The first event in Orlando saw Team O'Brien's Brandy Hunt take out Heat 1 with some clean moves and plenty of style points. Brandy is also a key player for Team Overton's on the regular WOW Tour as their wild card due to her great versatility. The second heat saw teams scrambling to guess which rider to send out next, and Team O'Brien wisely chose their ace up the sleeve in rookie Christy Smith. A young rider out of Little Rock, Arkansas showed the judges how it should be done, pulling off a series of impressive inverts, including this elephant, a nice looking back roll, really tearing it up, and a healthy attempt at this crow move. That left O'Brien in a strong position going into Heat 3, but Team Overton's College Park had former Junior World Barefoot Champion Charity Merriman focused on a big ride, and ride she did, getting some huge air on her rolls and inverts and really impressing the judges. But even after missing this double up, Merriman packed in enough points to take out Heat 3. So big rides from Hunt and Smith put O'Brien on top, even with a late run from Team Overton's College Park. Team Performance Ski and Surf finished third, narrowly ahead of Team Full Tilt, followed by Teams Neptune, Icon and Tommy Surf Slalom and Guitar.
Well, Sonia, the big guns of that day, Team O'Brien, what's going to happen this week?
Well, Jen, we have more teams and some new girls. They've been practicing all summer long. You have to wait and see what happens.
Stay tuned for more Curves on Fox Sports Net.
Curves is brought to you by Overton, the world's largest water sports dealer. By Malibu Boats, new leader, new rule. And by Speedo, the only performance swimwear. Accommodations in Charleston provided by the Westin Francis Marion.
Strength, beauty, class. These words can be used to describe the women of professional water skiing and what they choose to ski behind. The ski boat of the year, Malibu. Breaking new ground, making new rules. Malibu Boat Company is proud to be a major sponsor of WOW on Tour, thereby ensuring that women will always have a place to ski. We call it WOW Power. Malibu Boats, bring it on.
Welcome back to Curves. You guys want to meet one of our youngest superstars?
Yeah!
Let's go back to Sonia's Scoping the Bean with Charity Merriman.
Hey everyone, today I'm scoping the bean of Charity Merriman, which means I'm just getting into her head and finding out why she loves to wakeboard. She's actually just told me that she can't wakeboard this event, so what happened to you?
I was getting ready for a big event in Austin, Texas. 3 days before I was supposed to go, I blew out my knee on a front flip.
Well, you're doing great on the WOW Tour. At the first 2 events, what did you take?
I took first in the wakeboarding event and second in the team event.
So what are you doing to rehab your knee?
Every day I'm working real hard on a weight machine for 2 hours, working mostly my legs. And I'm getting back on the wakeboard a little bit, and I'm also trick skiing.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with your rehab. I'm so stoked you came just to hang out with us at the WOW event, even though you can't ride. And right now, we're going to let you guys go check out the first heat of the wakeboard event.
So heat 1, and when we say heat, we mean hot. 105 degrees, as a matter of fact. Now, the same format as Orlando, 2 passes and a doubler, 6 points for a win, 5 points for second, and so on. 2 bonus points for more than 6 inverts. And opening up for Team Performance Ski and Surf, Jamie DeCrasson starts here with a nice back roll. Comes in for a toe side back roll. Having a great summer so far, Jamie DeCrasson, one of the more experienced riders on the tour. Comes in there, pulls off a very clean tantrum. Look at the crisp air she's getting off the wakes. Very, very talented rider. Comes in toe side and gets a scarecrow again, sticks the landing. A little bit of a wobble, but still a clean landing. Comes in now heel side. Good looking roll to revert and sticks it perfectly. Notice how she spot the landing right on the money. Looked there and landed on exactly the right spot. Comes in toe side there, opens up with a nice toe side back roll to revert, but waves the speed up. She's not happy with the boat speed. Looks like it's varying a little bit. There's a nice half cab roll and still moving in, still got time. This is the second pass now. Pulls off a nice front roll and again a crispy clean landing, looking good. This is big points for Team Performance. And rips in there hillside, little indie grab. So nicely done, likes that. Excellent ride so far. There's the double up, goes to put her a huge tantrum to fakie and just misses the handle on the ride out, but nonetheless a great start for Team Performance with a score of 75 and 2 bonus points already. Next out for Team Full Tilt, Vanessa Green. Now she's only a rookie, never skied in a pro event before. This is her first ride. You can see there by a wipe on the face, looking a little bit nervous and checking out the huge wakes behind this Malibu wake setter. They are a daunting sight, especially for someone like Vanessa, who you can see is not a particularly tall rider. Getting in a couple of twitches there and a grab. Looking good so far, just getting familiar with it. Comes in toe side. There goes for a front flip, was it? And goes straight on the face. Well, that was fairly challenging stuff there. Team Full Tilt coming in with 30 points. And now for Team Icon, Robin Warren from Australia. Again, another experienced rider. And gets a nice little indie grab there. Indie, when you grab the toe side edge of the board in the air and goes around the backside for a yummy chicken salad. Switches it around and it comes back now. She's on the heel side and throws a good looking roll to revert and nails that one. A little short on inverts so far for Team Icon. Another nice tail grab, but remember, more than 6 inverts to get the bonus points. Team Icon a little short with inverts there, but nonetheless coming in with 50 points. And Laurie Kruger for Team Overton's College Park. A familiar face on the WOW Tour. Laurie Kruger is a very, very experienced 3-event skier as well as wakeboarder. She too is getting familiar with the wakes of this Malibu wake setter. Coming hillside there. Oh, nice clean back roll for Laurie Kruger. And she'll be trying to crank up the inverts as well. This is a look at her second pass. Whee! Goes for the toe side back roll, but over rotates. So Team Overton's College Park coming in with 40 points. Now last out for Team O'Brien, another rookie, first WOW event ever, Katie Gallagher. And just gets a little bit off axis on that wake jump there. Looks a little bit wobbly. Comes in now, will be to the heel side. Keeps the handle down, but just goes for a little grab. Again, the wake's probably fairly enormous compared to what she's used to, and switches around nicely there and slides back to regular. So 20 points for Team O'Brien. A great ride from the Crasson wins the first heat plus 2 bonus points for more than 6 inverts and puts Team Performance on top right from the get-go. That 3-point lead will factor in the next 2 heats as everybody else plays catch-up.
Wow, Jen. Jamie Necrason went out there and absolutely ripped it up in Heat 1.
And Performance Ski and Surf jumps out to an early lead, but we have more wakeboarding coming up. So stay tuned for more curves
on Fox Sports Net.
Before your slalom parts the mist on that perfect day. Before the twists and turns. Before the world turns topsy-turvy at the bottom of your feet. Before the tube tumbles. Before the key even goes in the ignition. We at Correct Craft have built you the finest boat in the world, a Nautique.
If you want it, we've got it now. Overton's has one of the largest inventories of water sports equipment and boating accessories in the world. We're available 24 hours a day, Monday through Saturday, and we offer standard, overnight, and second-day delivery. Water sports accessories, ski accessories, swimwear, eyewear, kids stuff, boating and personal watercraft accessories. From water skis to wakeboards, Overton's has it all. For a free catalog, call toll-free 1-888-355-2526.
Welcome back.
We're going to go meet our Aussie bad girl, Jo Robertson.
I'm probably not what you call the average wakeboarder. Back in Sydney, I have a career as a consulting engineer, environmental and chemical issues, and I also run my own surfwear label called Crud Board Riding Essentials. I've been wakeboarding now for about 2.5 years, competing. Before that, I used to 3 event ski. In Australia, I've been in the top 2 for some time now in women's wakeboarding. I also hold the Australasian champion title, which I took out in April, just 2 weeks before I came over on tour. Being a female wakeboarder in Australia is quite a challenge, actually. There's a lot of really good female Australian wakeboarders up and coming, and you American girls better look out, because I'm sure they're going to be over here next year on tour.
Well, Jo Robertson has to be our most interesting bad girl. She's the only engineer on the wakeboard tour. But don't you move, we have heat number 2 coming up next.
Team Performance open up well, but now in Heat 2, which rider will they send out to hang on to that healthy lead? The conditions look great, and they've sent out Sonia Scheffler, that girl again. And opens up there, the queen of grabs, Sonia. She really has a tremendous array of grabs. There's a little Indy with a twitch in between. Always a very entertaining rider is Sonia Scheffler. Nice looking back roll there. And Team Performance are really looking for something big out of Sonia to hang on to that lead they got out of Heat 1. And goes for the Scarecrow, picks it up perfectly, just sits it down a little bit, might lose some points for that, switches it back around, and a nice tail grab. So Sonia really tearing it up, coming back from injury this year, and has picked up quite a few new moves as well. Good looking toe side back roll to revert there, so switches over again, and a nice opening pass there for Sonia and Team Performance. Comes back for pass number 2, a switch back roll, and turns it around. Rides ordinarily with the left foot forward, another Indy grab in there. You see that knee brace on the right leg, ordinarily the rear leg. Comes in toe side front roll, nails it, just sits it down a little bit. Will lose marginal points for that, but nonetheless nails it and looks good so far. Comes in hillside, oh yummy, a little chicken salad in there to top it off. Team Performance and Sonia Scheffler picking up 65 points plus 2 bonus points for more than 6 inverts. Team Full Tilt now, and Bree Moore from California rode on the WOW Tour last year and is back in 99 and has picked up a few new moves as well. Little toe side Indy, and of course a lot of the girls again opening up with some grabs to feel out the big wakes of that Malibu wake setter. A nice looking back roll for Bree Moore, and she's really looking quite stylish out there, packing them in. And a 360 now, degree of difficulty very high there, and actually counts as an invert. Comes in now to the hillside, gets the roll to revert and nails that one perfectly right on the backside of the wake. A smooth ride, lots of style, and Team Full Tilt picking up 60 points. Well, an aggressive edge out there, and that's Lisa Bogan for Team Icon. Boy, she's really going for it here. Air railie, sticks it. That's a big trick there, and washes off a little speed. Team Icon will be looking for something big out of Lisa from Australia. Gets a nice front roll, a very tough trick. Just sits it down a little bit on the ride out, but looking good. Comes in backside now. Big back roll there. That was big, but drops the handle and says, come back. So 45 points for Team Icon, and Team Overton's College Park next out with Mayumi Hashimoto. And just starts off with a grab again, feeling out those wakes. Notice how narrow the water is here, restricting the girls a little bit on the width they can get going in one direction. Little toe side Indy there for Hashimoto. Coming in now to the backside, goes for something big here, is it? Oh, back roll with big air way out into the flats. Sticks that one nicely, Team Overton's College Park. Looking for something big out of Mayumi, gets that good toe side back roll, but just over rotates, sits it down, and picks up 40 points. Last out for Team Overton's is Brandy Hunt, another regular face on the WOW Tour. Of course, a very accomplished 3-event skier, and tearing it up here on the wakeboard. Looks good there, gets a nice back roll, and really trying to pack him in here. Team Overton's need a big ride, gets a nice looking half cab roll from fakie back to regular stance, ordinarily riding with the right foot in the front. Goofy, nice roll to revert, sticks that one perfectly, very similar to a flip on a trick ski. Swings in there, and fashion air as well to top it off for O'Brien with 61 points and the 2 bonus. Team Performance Ski and Surf again winning the heat and bonus points, increasing their lead with 16 over the 2 big movers, Team O'Brien and Team Full Tilt, currently with 9 each. Team Icon and Team College Park Overton still have some work to do.
Our girl Friday, Sonia Scheffler, takes heat number 2 and puts Performance Ski and Surf way out in the lead. But don't you guys move, because we'll be right back with more curves.
Curves is brought to you by Inmar, inboard power technology for the long run. By Masterline, the official tow line of the women of water sport. And by Bliss, unique clothing and sportswear for women. Put your body in a state of bliss. All printed materials have been provided by the John Roberts Company, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Welcome back to Curves. It's time for heat number 3. But first, let's go to Sonia Scheffler with a little girl talk with Leslie Kent.
Hey, Leslie and I are just sitting here talking. We went to the Wakeboard World Cup in Europe and we had a blast. What was your favorite part about that Germany site?
My favorite part about the site was all the skate ramps they had set up. It was pretty fun. They had a big half pipe and a kicker and a slider and all that.
That's cool. I saw you ripping it up over there. So how long have you been skateboarding?
I've been skateboarding about like 6 years. It's pretty fun. I started skating before I even knew what wakeboarding was.
Is that where these scars came from?
Yeah, I have all the scars and battle wounds to prove it. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Thanks for hanging out with us here. And we're going to let you guys go back and watch the rest of the wakeboard event.
Well, as usual on the WOW Tour, the last event or heat has a variable par. So for every invert after 6, there's a bonus point up for grabs. And being the last heat, it's not too hard to figure out who you're going to send out. Each team only has one rider left, and out for Team Performance is Megan Majors. Having a great summer so far, started off there with a toe side back roll, pulls off a beautiful tantrum there, very stylish. She's a very clean rider, gets a lot of air off this huge Malibu wake setter wake. Comes in there for a toe side back roll to revert, and a pretty tough trick that lands it way out in the flats. Comes in there for a toe side, and it's a scarecrow, nails it perfectly. And this is a great opening pass. A good look at Megan Majors' performance there. And looks like she will finish off with 80 points with 3 extra inverts. So good points there for Team Performance. They're going to be hard to catch. A look now at the local girl from South Carolina, Farrah Dawson, riding for Team Full Tilt. Started off there with a nice looking back roll. There's a front roll, yay, all the way into the camera there. Looks good so far. Comes in heel side, rips off a tantrum. Not quite clipping the top of the wake, so not getting as much air as Megan Majors. Nice indie grab there for Farrah Dawson. Team Full Tilt looking good there. She looks like she gets a good shot at this double up and pulls off another perfect tantrum, rides it out beautifully. So great score there for Team Full Tilt with 70 points and 1 bonus point. Team Icon, another Australian, Jo Robertson, and she opens up there with a nice looking back roll. And coming in now to the toe side, could be a scarecrow. It is, nicely done, handle out there, rotated it round, stomps the bindings back on, she switches it back and says, all right, do you think that was good? Hang on to your hats and check this out. Comes in hillside and rips off a tantrum. Way, that was a low trajectory there, just made that one. But good scores so far for Team Icon out of Jo Robertson. Nice grab, and it looks like she'll come in there. Good set for Team Icon, 35 points for Jo Robertson. For Team Overton's College Park, Lauren Lowe. And that is one of the biggest scarecrows you will ever see, this young girl, 14 years of age. That is a huge start there for Team Overton's College Park. This is promising. Big ride there. That's a huge looking back roll. Look how much air she's getting for this small girl. Very powerful legs, big wake. Opens up there, well, he gets a toe side back roll, but just over rotated a little too much air on that occasion and finished off there with 50 points. Now the gun for Team O'Brien's Christy Smith. They're going to need something big out of this girl. She can do a lot of inverts and she's going to need a lot to catch Team Performance. Let's see, she starts off there. Well, that was a great looking tantrum now for the toe side back roll and stacking them in there. Going to have to put one after the other pretty tightly together. Backside, back roll. No worries so far. That's 3 inverts and looking good. Comes into the toe side. Toe side roll to revert. Switches it around. And looking good. Switches it back. Comes in heel side there. 360 blind rotation away from the boat. And is happy with that. A great opening start there. And that's 6 points so far. So every invert, there's a huge air railie. That's the 7th invert. So starting to count the bonus points. O'Brien making a late run. Smith coming in toe side, gets a huge toe side front roll. And did she say, check that out, that was huge, I still got more left. Comes in now, it's going to be to the heel side. Really trying to stack him in. Gets the Mobius and just hangs onto the handle. That's another invert looking good. Team O'Brien is rubbing their hands together. Christy Smith really getting stuck into it here. Gets a big scarecrow, switches it back, running out of lake. Gets a nice little innie grab in there. So an excellent second pass, racking in those inverts. And now she'll swing it around the island and comes in for the double up. Both wakes meet, she collects them and gets a huge tantrum to switch, and that's a massive ride. Impressive stuff from Christy Smith and Team O'Brien clapping their hands together with 85 points. A consistent day for team performance ski and surf and good tactics pays off, winning 2 of the 3 heats and getting bonus points in each heat to finish with 24. But the ride of the day from Smith brings Team O'Brien up to second with 21, followed by Team Full Tilt with 14, Team Icon with 10 and Team Overton's College Park with 9. And here's a look at the Speedo Cam shot of the day. And for team performance ski and surf, Megan Majors wiping out on this huge scarecrow.
Well, another great wakeboard event. You guys finished 3rd in Orlando, and you pull off the win here. What do you contribute to the win?
Everything was good here today. The lake was smooth, the boat wake was big, and we all rode really well. It all came together for us.
Great. And was the heat a factor?
No, we all just went out, rode clean and smoked it.
And you heard it here first. Stay tuned next week for more of your favorite curves.